Close your eyes for a minute, close your eyes for a second. I won't change my mind.
Hi Posh fam, welcome back to the channel Poshcateyes Unfiltered. We are talking Real Housewives of Atlanta episode 2. We're gonna unpack the episode that was, but before that, let's just do a quick housekeeping, guys. Thank you to my newest or latest Posh subscriber. I don't know your name because it didn't come with your name, but thank you. We grew by 1 in the last 7 days, so I am very appreciative. Thank you for joining us here. Go through my playlist, see what you like, and share this channel with your friends, okay? And to my existing subscribers, thank you so much for staying on. Do not forget, as usual, to comment, like, and please watch this video when you can. With that said, let's just get into the drama that was episode 2 of The Real Housewife of ATL. So episode 2 practically kicks off from where we ended with episode 1, and that was the party from hell, Ross's 40th. Now, as we all know, Sanya, through her hobby, bespoke 40th birthday, and that went down dramatically, okay, because the ladies were irate. Courtney, one of the latest additions to the show, decided she wanted to take on the seasoned OG Kandi Boris. Kandi wasn't having it, so it kicks off again. But at this time, since the episode 2, we could see there was a de-escalation of sorts by the other cast member coming to sort of separate them from, you know, having a physical altercation. Because at one point we did hear Kandi say, "I am going to headbutt this bitch," whatever that means. That woman always has the perfect one-liner. And so the escalation saw the two of them, you know, separated, but there was still words exchange, you know, like, "Where you coming from me? Why are you being a little bit sarcastic and dramatic and unnecessarily mean?" You know, because again, that's exactly what it is. I don't think these women know each other from a bar of soap. They do have a common friend or a common frenemy by the name Sheree. And so Sheree would have definitely fed a few bits and pieces to Courtney, who has then taken on her friend's frenemy or jumped on the frenemy bandwagon and decided to hate on Kandi. I guess we're going to be uncovering more of the dynamics that is Courtney, Sheree, and Kandi's relationship. This particular episode, we did not get to see a lot of Courtney. After the 40th bash, pretty much that was it. But the night didn't end without another drama, and that was between Martell, Sheree's new boyfriend, and Kenya Moore. Now, Kenya, if you have watched this show, Kenya has always had a thing for, you know, going for the jugular. Like, if you come for her, she is coming for you with a knife, literally. And so the fact there was this DMing or sliding into DM from Martell, who we can now uncover that the DM situation actually happened 2 years prior to Martell having any communication with Sheree. So pretty much, I think Kenya was trying to get on Sheree's nerve with this drama or with this information that wasn't exactly juicy. So Martell did admit, "Yes, I slid into your DM, but this was 2 years ago." Kenya disagreed and said it was maybe 6 months ago. But then it did turn out that there was a timestamp to the conversation that ensued, and that was 2 years ago, 2021, I'm not sure now. And so it was like, Kenya, why did you even bring it up? Well, we all know, you just have to stir up drama. And then from before you could say Jack Robinson, things really went stage left. We saw Kenya really irate and calling Martell a little piece of shit. And Martell was like, I pretty much bet you are thirsty for me sliding into your DM, because you don't get that much people sliding into your DM. And according to him, she's probably messaged or responded back to everyone that slid into her DM, which was like, ouch. Now we know she's single, don't rub it in. But quite on the contrary, we saw Kenya with a friend of hers, I think through maybe her kids group or play group or school or whatever, kindergarten, apparently Kenya has got a new man. You know, Kenya was debriefing to this friend about the shenanigans that went down at the 40th bash and how Martell pretty much physically was about to attack her physically and was, according to her, the black label, aggressive towards her, and that was a red flag in all its form. And so it was more to the point where she wasn't sure what was happening. Yeah, so she felt frightened, and she was now using that to be concerned for Sheree. In my opinion, Kenya, you're doing the most. Stop. Moving on now. We all know there was going to be a debrief session. I'm tagging this particular vlog as Sanya the messy boots. Sanya is a frenemy. I don't know her role this particular season, but it's pretty much obvious she doesn't have a storyline. She hasn't got a storyline, and so she's gonna be playing the middle. She's gonna be playing the fiddle. She's gonna be playing both sides because she knows that there's a fallout between Sheree and the other ladies, and she's gonna be using this to advantage. Malo is at odds with Kandi. You know, Sheree again is at odds with Kandi. Now there's Courtney that's now in the mix. So she is literally playing both sides. We see Kenya, Kandi, and Sanya having a lunch. Of course, we know that this lunch is going to be a debrief session of what happened at the 40th birthday disaster. Apparently, from what Kandi is saying, she had a family vacation with Sanya. So she's pretty much taking Sanya as a close friend. And she was like, so Sanya, while all this went down when you guys hung out at Sheree's house discussing me, what did you say to my defense? You could see Sanya was like shaking because she didn't think Kandi was going to come straight for her. She's like, I tried to defend you. No, we all saw the episode. You did not defend your friend. You joined in the mockery. You laughed really hard. And quite frankly, you didn't say anything to shut the whole situation up. I felt you probably co-engineered the showdown that happened at your husband's 40th birthday bash. You did. And I guess Kenya has already seen through her. We're going to be uncovering how this dynamics plays out this season. But Kandi girl, you need to be aware of Sanya. She's on the come up, and she is going to use every castmate to have a storyline to be on the come up. And that's just it. Now, it didn't really end there with Sanya's gossipy debrief session. She had a lunch schedule with Sheree, where they discussed all that went down at the 40th birthday bash. Again, the topic of conversation. Sheree wanted to know what Sanya thought about the fact that Martell was front and center in the chaos. And Sanya, of course, wasn't for Kenya because she felt Kenya always has a thing for labeling black men. And you know how it is in America. There is so much injustice. There is so much prejudice against African Americans. And black men, are sort of a threat to the seemingly majority of the population. And so I guess the African American women are like, let's soldier on for our men, let's protect them because no one is protecting them. I can understand that. But Sanya, there's ways to have this conversation and not it being like you are trying to be a victim of a situation where you guys know that you're acting. But I will leave it there. I don't know if she said anything regarding the lunch. She did say she had lunch with Kenya and Kandi, and said Kandi wasn't impressed with her role or her involvement in the Courtney mess. She decided again to backtrack and distance herself from all the mess that happened. But Sanya, you are front and center. You should stop playing both sides. It's going to backfire on you. Now, I know the show. I've seen this show 15 seasons now. There is one. It happened to Nene. Now, when you are the OG, you got the most camera time, you're making the most salary from the cast, the other women are going to be green with envy, and they're going to come for you to try and frustrate you out of the show. It has happened so many times to Kandi Boris. Phaedra tried it, Phaedra left. You know, Nene as well, Nene left. So it's been, if as well, Kim Zolciak also tried it and Kim left. So it's like, it's just never ending. And I'm also suspecting there's also an external factor. Maybe an ex-producer by the name, has a name that starts with C, also be playing a few fiddles behind the scenes. But who knows? I cannot wait to uncover more of season 15 as it unfolds. Now, Drew is back from her family emergency. Guys, I was suspicious about this family emergency, given the fact that they are now filing for this, or they filed for divorce. I was skeptical. But however, it did turn out that yes, there was a family emergency, because you can see Drew popping back into the scene in episode 2 where her husband was like welcoming her home, and she was quite happy to be home, and also letting the husband know what happened during her trip to Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. Now her dad is very sick in the nursing home. He's down with dementia, and I think they're all trying to be around the dad, make his last moments memorable, to just, I guess, be a family. So good on you, Drew, for doing that. She has now decided, because Drew, the woman of many talents, Drew has decided now she wants to go back to her musical way, her musical history. She has a new single out. She wants to have an EP out as well. And apparently there was an episode in season 14 where she sang her heart out, and that, should I say, gave her the confidence that she has been looking for, to delve back into music. Music is therapy for her. According to her, she's got a lot to say. So Drew, I can't wait for you to get on the studio, okay? I can't wait for you to get behind the mic and pour out whatever it is you want us to know. She did say, she's walking the walk. We've gone to see a producer. Apparently her husband is managing her. I don't know how this is going to fall. I don't know what's going to happen out here, but I am curious to see how this plays out, because you all know they have both filed for divorce. So safe to say, Raph does not manage Drew's musical comeback, I guess. I don't know, but I am so stoked. I want to see how this unfolds. I know it's not something to be happy or excited about, but I guess it's reality TV. I'm learning from things like this. I know. Please don't judge me. So the final act for today was actually Kandi. Now, I would say this, Marlo didn't really have a lot going on this particular episode. She's still being a Monty with her cousins. But there was something that was quite interesting. I did remember that sometime last year, there was a news flash on the blogs about one of Kandi's restaurants. There was a shooting at one of her restaurants. Now, I read this article. Now, for me, anything that has to do with America and shooting is sort of like an everyday occurrence. It's not like breaking news anymore. I have sort of been desensitized to the violence that sort of comes out from America. It's every day there's a shooting on the news. So when I saw that article, it didn't really mean much, or I didn't really establish any I didn't personalize it. But on this episode, they were trying to revamp this particular restaurant. Now, they didn't exactly say why the restaurant had lost customer or lost foot traffic. They didn't say. They were about they've changed the menu, we've done this, we've done that. We're trying to reinvent this restaurant. And that was when producers were like, you guys are not addressing the elephant in the room. Meanwhile, Kandi's cousin had walked in with splint on his wrapped around. His arm was on the splint. So I was like, okay. And the next thing I heard was Todd, like, this is a legal matter. There's only so much we can say about this legal situation. But then Kandi, during her diary session, she was like, yes, it shouldn't happened. Allegedly, the cousin, who's a chef, had an altercation with an ex-employee allegedly, and during that altercation, that tussle, shots were fired, and the casualty is Kandi's cousin. Now, of course, that probably would have created. If I hear that, I probably won't go, but they are trying to tell us it happens every time in America. Okay, so it's nothing new. Everyone is pretty much carrying. So I don't know how that works over there. And so it shouldn't deter customers from coming in. Again, the message wasn't clear. What was clear, however, is these guys are trying to revamp this restaurant by introducing new food to the menu. So safe to say you guys will be going to a Blaze Steak somewhere in Atlanta if probably it's already been revamped. The night or this particular episode concluded with Kenya paying Sheree a visit at her distribution center. Now, last season, Messy Sheree decided she was going to relaunch her clothing line. Now, this clothing line has been 14 years in the making, guys. Sheree started the first entrance or her first feature on the Real Housewives of Atlanta was her telling us about her clothing line. And this clothing line has still not seen the light of day. She broke a record by having a fashion show at the season finale of episode season 14. We saw an array of active wear, and it was like, oh my god, we are so happy for you, Sheree. You finally achieved that success you were aiming for. You've attained this feat. And it was really, everyone came out for her, supported her, and I felt really good because she has come a long way. But then no one got to see the lights of this clothes. The site that was launched crashed. Still, not a lot of people were able to purchase her active wears, and it became a failure again. But this time we are at her distribution center, and she's saying that orders are coming in straight and fast. People are supporting her brand, and she's definitely selling. Okay, so that's what Sheree said. So we're gonna take our words for it. But the main point is, Kenya had this moment with her, visited this distribution center, and of course the point to be talking about was the Martel situation. Kenya wanted to let Sheree know that when somebody is that aggressive to your friend, it means that's who they are. They are aggressive, and it's a red flag. And she has always picked the wrong man. She had to take her mind back to her ex-husband, who was abusive, physically abusive to her, and the other one that was from, the jail. I don't know, Tyrone, the jail bed guy, And she's like, you're not picking these guys right. We feel like you're making a mistake with this one again. He came for me. You didn't support me. You should have supported me. And Sheree was not having it. She was like, I'm not going to be supporting something that wasn't meant to be of a significance. The DM happened 2 years ago. It meant nothing to me, and you decided to bring it up. And what you got was someone that was upset, deeply upset and offended by your remarks, and you insulted him. He responded in kind, and it went back and forth. These two there was no resolution between these two. They both agreed to disagree. Now, when you hear something like agree to disagree, it means we're gonna just put a band-aid on it. However, we will be coming back to this. That is exactly my take. And this is where episode 2 ended for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I cannot wait to unpack episode 3. It does look like there is more from the fallout of the Martell, Kenya, and Sheree situation, and the issues with Marlo, Sheree, and Kandi. There's just more to uncover. hold your seat, guys, and seriously, thank you for coming in numbers and watching episode 1 commentary. I am so grateful. Please like this video and share as well as comment. Until next time, guys, stay safe and be focused. Bye bye.